They come from every corner of the world, every background, every story, different uniforms, different journeys, but one purpose: to serve the United States of America. That shared purpose doesn't end when the uniform comes off. It lives on in the millions of veterans, families, and supporters who continue to serve in their communities, in their advocacy, and through their voices. At Mission Roll Call, it's the strength of our community that drives our work and our impact. We listen. We ask questions that matter, and we turn your feedback into real action. Each month, thousands of veterans, family members, and supporters share their experiences and insights through our surveys, polls, and outreach. Your voice helps shape conversations across the country. Your participation in our polls and surveys has had a national impact. It's informed policymakers, guided legislation, and helped shape the way America understands what veterans truly need and how to support them. With your help, we've elevated these voices in Congress, in the media, and across communities nationwide. And we haven't done it alone. In 2025, Mission Roll Call strengthened partnerships and deepened collaboration with local organizations, proving we're more than logos on a page, but real partners in impact. Through shared research, data, and storytelling, from white papers and articles to on-the-ground outreach. Together, we reach those too often overlooked: rural veterans, families facing barriers to care, and those rebuilding connection and purpose after service. We're proving that when veterans unite, change follows. The military may be one of the last true melting pots, a place where people from every walk of life come together for one purpose: to serve our country. At Mission Roll Call, that sense of unity continues to guide us. One mission, one community, one voice amplified. Our work is not done.
All right, everybody. Well, welcome in. Welcome to another MRC Town Hall. I'll be your host, Ray Whitaker. And of course, with us, we have the esteemed, I like that word since you liked it last time, Mr. Jim Whaley, the CEO of Mission Roll Call. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing, Ray?
That's good, man. We made it to 2026. You know, January's here, and it is, I know you're from up north, right? I think you spent a little bit of time up in New Jersey. I would ask that you take this weather back up there if you don't mind.
I'm with you. We had a lot of ice down here and just outside of Charlotte, South Carolina. So I do not miss the snow and ice, and I wish they would just keep it up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's crazy. I think we only had like half an inch of ice here, but I guess they're calling for snow this weekend for us. So it's a little unnatural, if you will.
Good.
Yeah, for what we're trying to do. For everybody's here, we appreciate you guys for coming in and hanging out with us today. This is all about you guys, all right? So the veterans that are here inside of the crowd, what we do at Mission Roll Call is pretty easy. You guys are getting an opportunity to see it today. We've had a lot go on. Last time we had a call with all of you guys was actually in December. So we talked a little bit. So you had Christmas, of course, you had the new year, and now we're all in 2026 kind of moving forward. So we got a lot to get to today. We also have a special thing towards the end of this today, Jim. Yeah. Pretty excited about that. We're not going to talk about it yet, but definitely excited about it. All right, let's go over the agenda, and we'll try to make this as fast as possible. If I start skipping around, Jim, like the dog, just let me know because it may happen.
No worries.
All right, so veterans and families, this right here, we have a survey that's live right now for everybody. One of the things that we do here is we ask you guys to take these surveys. These surveys are your voice. It's your opportunity to speak to the folks that make decisions on your behalf. Okay. And this could be at the government level, and also for those that live in cities, counties, states, so forth and so on. This month for January, we only got a couple days left where the survey is actually focused on the Briley-Edmondson Act. This addresses how our nations support veterans through catastrophic injuries and families who lost a veteran due to connected causes. Now, if Nate, if you can pull up the survey so everybody can see it, one thing that we're going to make a note, normally when we do these surveys for you guys, they're just a little bit lighter. It's just the questions and that it. This time we went ahead and added a little bit of explanation on this because we want to make sure that you guys understand the basics of this, right? We try not to get too crazy, but you'll see here on the page, you've got kind of like a block and then there's a little bit of reading. So hopefully here, unless you were a Marine, I think Marines can read. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but just because I know that John's in the crowd and he was a Marine. But for you guys, we'd like you guys just to read through this, understand it, and then take the survey. This is very impactful, y'all. I can't stress this to you guys. So we do these monthly. We have these surveys. Take 5-10 minutes of your time, answer these surveys because Mike Desmond and the team that focus on advocacy are using this stuff and handing the data off. So just want to make sure we throw that into y'all's court there. Our next town hall, Jim, me and you, we're going to be live together again. Looks like February 11th. Same bat time, same bat channel, it seems. So that would be fun. And then as we always say, if you got questions, comments, or things you want to talk about, just post in the comments. So wherever you're watching, if you're watching here on the website, if you're on Facebook, wherever you guys are at, just post a question. Happy to answer whatever you guys have or any questions that you have. Scotty Mo, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Good old Mo, man. That's my battle buddy, Jim. I spent my
life. Is that right?
Yeah, man. Too many times us traveling the world together. Also see Mike Mertzky in here. Look at old Mikey Mike, John Rolick. Lee, man, there's a lot of good names in here. So anyway, all right, we'll stay off those guys. But if you guys have questions, please post them up.
Yeah.
All right, so Jim, we started the new year off really fast. So I really want to talk about, we kind of made it through Christmas, we made it through the New Year's, and then you came right back in. You and Mike both immediately were in DC. I think really the second week there, around the 5th or so, you guys started kind of some of the stuff that we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to talk about is the Beacon Act. So you had an opportunity to and just correct me if I'm wrong with any of this, but to speak media a little bit about the Beacon Act. What we know about the Beacon Act, just to kind of take that complex act and kind of bring it down a little bit for everybody that's here. It's really about expanding the care system for those with mild to moderate traumatic brain injury or TBI. Like that's the basis of it. So can you talk us through, Jim, from your perspective, just a bit about your news interview around the Beacon Act, if you don't mind?
Yeah, I think, the press I've been talking to is really very surprised on the amount of passion our veterans have with the surveys that they take and the details we're able to provide the press. We give them a great white paper on what this act is, what's going on, what the benefits are. And then adjacent to that is what we're hearing from veterans and what we're hearing from their families. And, and all good policy starts with listening first and then holding folks accountable afterwards. So we're listening to veterans and their families across the country in an unfiltered way and then sharing that with the press. And I think that's resonating with them because we're getting a lot of press and we're getting a lot of people that are asking questions, not only in the media, but in the halls of Congress, in the Senate, and in committees. And it's important to share those opinions and do it in a way that people understand. The fact is that a lot of people in our country suffer from TBI. A lot of veterans suffer from TBI at different levels. And what the Beacon Act does, just to kind of put it all together, it allows the VA and others to work with other partners in a very collaborative way to make sure that veterans and their families are getting the health care that they need when it comes to TBI, because it's complex. TBI is something that you could have gotten a small concussions or mini concussions throughout your career. And then those effects take hold and you don't understand why you're losing focus. You don't understand why you have mood swings and things like that. And so the Beacon Act allows for this neurorehabilitation to occur. And it allows for the creation of structured evidence-based medical care, which means that the VA will open the aperture of working with other organizations to get the best in practice. I know that's very long, but it's so key to do this because the fact is, if you're suffering, if someone you love or yourself is suffering from TBI, it then becomes kind of a progression to losing a job, to having friction within relationships, to maybe becoming, depressed, and any number of things after that. So that's why this is so important.
Right.
It's great to be up in DC and be part of the press conference with the folks that are pushing this, Congressman Bergman from Minnesota and others, and to engage with the press on it and to educate them about it.
That's right. Yeah. And I think a lot of what you're talking about is, I don't know the statistics, so I'm not even going to try. This is a good part. We'll bring Mike on here soon to have a broader discussion about TBI in general, and a lot of organizations that are focused on this. But one thing we do know is we don't know all the root causes, right? And that's part of what this thing is about. It's about finding innovations and funding grants and other things to help figure it out, right?
And that's a key point, Ray. The ability for them to provide grants, and invest in organizations that are showing that what they're doing is working is key, because otherwise you get caught up in a bureaucracy that is the VA or another organization, and it takes forever. And that's what everybody's impatient about. So this allows that, and it allows the funding to occur. And of course, we know the good folks at Avalon Action Alliance, and they're doing great work. And this will be a benefit to them and many other organizations that are there. But we know them very well from some of the work that they do, because we have friends and family that have been involved with them. Yeah.
It's like you knew exactly what I was going to ask, because I was going to ask what other organizations are we working with, and there's a lot, right? So you've done your due diligence today, Wasp.
Thank you. I'm done for the day.
Yeah. Okay. So the next thing, Jim, I want to talk a little bit about 2025 impact report. We gave everybody kind of a sneak peek last go around. We showed you guys kind of what we've done together, right? This is not a sole mission. MRC cannot do what we do without you. More importantly, though, all we're doing is taking your voices and we're handing it to the right folks to make sure that they have the information, right? This isn't benefiting us at all. It's benefiting all of us together as a team, and making sure that your voice is being heard. So we've got the link here for you guys. One of the team will post it up. We'd love you guys to go and look at this. Again, you're focusing us in where we're going. So 2026 priorities were selected by you. 2025 priorities were selected by you. And then Mike and team are focused on looking at those priorities. And of course, anything that comes from Congress and the other folks, Senate, that we deal with, to make sure that we're doing the best that we can for you. Okay. Next, Jim, you got an opportunity to testify. So that's the other great part of this is you got an opportunity to talk about pending legislation before the U.S. House of Veterans Affairs Committee, and really the subcommittee on health. That's right. What you're focused on. Yeah. Based on that, can you give us kind of a quick overview of why MRC was testifying? Like why were we there?
Well, I'll bring us back to the comments I had earlier. We've disrupted the environment of how VSOs are interacting with Congress. And I mean that in a positive way. We're not going in there throwing elbows, but we're going in there thoughtfully with data, and we're listening to veterans. And that's disruptive, because when I talk to CEOs and I talk to other leaders and organizations, and I say, well, we lay out our agenda every year based on what veterans are telling us, I get a kind of cockeyed look. They're like, wait a minute, you're letting the public kind of decide your priorities. And that's exactly what we do. We allow veterans and their families, and we welcome that, because that's who we're serving. And when we do that, and the members of those committees know that, they're attracted to that, because they know they're going to get unvarnished, unfiltered, in a nonpartisan way, what the views are of their constituents. And now we are reaching people from every demographic, and we have been for a while, in every state, and we're doing it in a very complex way, so that we can do this as legislation is pending, not reacting to it. So I think that is a great advantage to us and to those that are making those decisions, because now they're getting those opinions and they're getting those ideas, and they're listening before they're making their opinion, rather than reacting later to what people are saying. And so testifying is kind of a rigid environment. If anybody's watched those, you have to go in, you have to stay within 5 minutes, and you have to read your testimony. And we share that testimony both with all of you and with the folks on the committee. But I was able to talk about the Beacon Act. I was able to talk about the No Pain Act, of course, which is important because we have a lot of veterans that have opioid addiction, and this allows us a way to addresses that issue and to avoid pain using other non-opioid measures, which is key.
Which is giving them a choice. Like,
it's giving them a choice.
Yeah.
And
So
that,
the doctor, yeah.
To me, this all comes back to those, the access to healthcare, and access means getting healthcare where and how and when you need it. And so this addresses that important issue that's always been number one or number two from our constituents. And of course, then it's the Recover Act. And there's so many acts, I got to look at my notes here. But the Recover Act really increases the ability of communities to provide mental health. So again, providing grants, providing funding so that we can get this out at the local level. And that's where actions happen. Where the tire hits the road is in communities, local towns and cities where you have VSOs, veteran support organizations, that know what's happening. The way to solve things in Boston is a little bit different than solving them in Columbia, South Carolina.
That's right. Yeah.
It just is. There's different facts, there's different populations, there's a bunch of different things. And so this is what that does. And so testifying is always fun to do because I can go there representing all the folks that are listening today, all the folks that are taking part in the surveys. And I think it reinforces the importance of these surveys because that data is so important because the numbers don't lie. We're not adding anything to it. We're giving them facts, and that's important. And it helps them shape their decisions in a more positive way. And we've seen great success with this already. It's amazing. It's very simple, but no one else is doing it. And that's why it's disruptive.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, when we did the initial gap analysis, which anybody that's looking to impact others, that's what you're looking for, right? Is either there's a gap somewhere or you can do something better than somebody else. I mean, that's how you start a business or any nonprofit. And this seems so simple. I think when you and I started having conversations, we were both like, why is nobody doing this? Like, this is not natural. Then all you got to do is bring amazing people onto the team and just let them at it. And that's basically what we've done here. I want to bring up Mike Mertzke's comment here, Jim. He said, this is so needed as we haven't even scratched the surface on military TBI and CTE, from everything from training to combat and everywhere in between. And I think there's another comment in here also that came from Kevin, which is kind of talking about that, hey, we don't even, there's some vets that haven't even been diagnosed with TBI, right? And this again goes back to what we're talking about here with the grants and the innovations and like figuring out, like, does a person have TBI? Doctors are saying one thing, well, it's because they're using the training that they've received, when realistically it could be a catalyst from TBI or CTO. It could be something else that's creating these. And that's really what the emphasis of all this is, right? Is that kind of why this is?
Absolutely. And I think the other challenge is you really don't have the ability, the VA, to do this TBI testing sophisticatedly across the country. There's only 4 trauma centers that address it. Yeah. And of course, they're geographically dispersed. And by embracing other organizations that have the latest technology and that are coupled with university hospitals and other things like that, we're getting the best and brightest involved with it. And I think that's key. And sharing that information in a collaborative way can help solve these problems. And Mike's right. I mean, there's studies now that micro concussions, and that could be even from artillery fire over a long period of time, or even small arms fire over a long period of time. And we've all hit our heads numerous times in the military, some more than others based on your MOS or what your duty was. But that's accumulative, right? That effect is accumulative. And I'm not by any way and means an expert in this. I just talk to really smart people about it. but it's a much more systemic problem than we think.
That's right.
And if we can get it early, and put those and diagnose it and put the mitigation in, we can affect suicides. We can affect that rate. We can affect homelessness. We can affect disengagement from the community. And that's why this is so important.
Yeah, no, it's the great part is that we're highly focused on this, right? It's part of, we see the benefit of this, working with organizations that are focused on HBOT and all these other things, or, TBI and CTs and all of this. It's becoming more and more apparent through a lot of the research and stuff that we are even conducting internally, trying to figure out some of this stuff. So we appreciate Mike Desmond and his team, what they're doing to continue this. And of course, Jim, I suspect that, there's going to be lots of conversations about this through the year. So I know we'll be updating everybody that's here today. So appreciate all you guys, what you're doing. And again, I can't stress this to you guys. We talked about it earlier. Continue to give your voice, right? I know I try to say this all the time when we have these, you have an opportunity, right? We're taking your voice and we're handing it to people that want to hear it. So we all need to band together and give the voice, and you have your opinions, you have your experiences. All right. We're not all going to be the same, but the point is at least you get your voice in. And not only, go ahead, Jim.
And let me just add to that, because I think it's such an important point, Ray. And it's not only just taking the surveys with us and getting involved with us, it's taking this information and sharing it with your local legislators and lawmakers, with your state, and pointing them in our direction. Hey, look at this. This is important. You need to know about this. Because the fact of the matter is sometimes even at the highest levels of government, they just don't know the level of details. They just don't have the information. If we can provide that information with them and help shape their decisions in a positive way, just by using facts, not by trying to sway them in any way. And I think that's why we're so, we're so popular with both sides of the aisle, because we're providing them information in a nonpartisan way and saying, hey, this is what veterans and their families are telling us. This is important. You may want to know about it. Your constituents are telling us this. And so they're thankful for that, because they're busy too. So, and sharing that information is important. But I would urge all of us have a role to play for our voices to be heard. We're all busy. I get it. We're raising families. We're running businesses. We're doing all kinds of stuff, right? And so the day gets filled up with a lot of things. But if you can find time to give this information to your local representative, or getting involved with a VSO in your local area that might be tackling this problem, please do.
Yeah. And then the enlisted way to say that is get off your butt and take the survey.
There you go.
Right? It's
there
your life.
I was trying to do that nice kind of.
It's your life, right?
Yeah.
Like that's very important, right? Like the whole means of us being here is supporting our brothers and sisters. Like there's no excuses in my mind for somebody not providing their voice to do this. So you can't get upset later if you didn't provide your voice. I guess the point, and you absolutely have it now. Okay, all right, Jim, we got to move on. Bottom line is we're focused on the TBI stuff and all of that. Veteran Connection Network, Jim, good news. It's launched, right? Like it's out there. Valerie and Leah are absolutely running as fast as possible, getting that thing up. To give everybody kind of an idea what the Veteran Connection Network it is, we were going to kind of start our own internal, I would say, volunteer system, right? One of the things that we've consistently talked about inside of this organization is we look at everything in kind of threes. Like we have the veterans and families, we have MPOs, VSOs, and then of course we have the decision makers. And all three of those are like, it's like a, like a pyramid that's kind of sitting there, but all three have to kind of interact. When we started talking about this, it was just going to be for us. And we realized very, very quickly that it would make way more sense to bring everybody together. Again, our mantra is like MPOs and VSOs being successful at the local level makes us successful, and vice versa. So this platform is really used for two things. If you're a veteran, you can come here and you can find volunteer activities, right? This thing's going to really start getting populated very soon with a lot of information. If you're a VSO, MPO, and you have events that you want to get out to folks, this is where you come, and you can work with both Valerie and Leah to work through that. You can connect with us. You can ask questions, all that type of stuff, and we'll get with you guys. So I just wanted to bring this up, that the digital hub is there. We're rocking and rolling, and we're kind of moving it forward. Jim, I just wanted to ask real quick from your perspective, how important is this digital hub? connecting VSOs, MPOs, and veterans in your mind?
Well, this was the most important thing we talked about when we launched Mission Roll Call, or second, right? We wanted to advocate for veterans, but we also wanted to bring them together. There's 8 million veterans that aren't associated with any VSO or the VA, and they're out there, and we want to make sure they and others have the knowledge and the ability to connect to different veteran support organizations in their local area. Sometimes you want to volunteer. Sometimes you just want to give money. Sometimes you want to personally get involved on a board or something like that. And this is a way to do that. You can go to this and volunteer your time, maybe take your company and go volunteer your time. Maybe you have a group of veterans that you hang out with and play golf. And maybe this would be an opportunity to plug into something that would do something positive in the community and make you feel good at the same time, and plug in. At the end of the day, we join the military, every branch, to serve our country, do something bigger than ourselves, to be part of something bigger than themselves. And that doesn't turn off when you retire, and it doesn't turn off when you get out after one enlistment. That's still in you. That flame still is burning, and you need to step up, as Ray said, and get involved. And this is a way to do that. And so we invite other veteran support organizations to be part of that network. And again, that's disruptive. No one else is doing that. We want to promote other VSOs. We want to see them successful. We want to help tell their story so that people get involved. We're a powerful community of 18 million veterans across the country. When you think about spouses and kids, you're talking 30 million plus people in our country that have a strong connection to the military. And that's a sizable voting block. It's a sizable volunteer block. And it's a sizable group of people that can make a difference in community. And hopefully this is a way to make that a little bit easier.
Yeah, no, 100%, Jim. And I think that, if everybody followed our lead, look, we don't want to be the sole people that are bringing people together, other VSOs and MPOs, right? We just want to be, we want to be a change. We want to be a disruptor in the idea that we all got to work together. And I know you and I have talked about that a lot. There is a lot of veterans, and yeah, there's 44,000 VSOs, but let's just be honest, like that's for 18 million, 30 plus million, if you talk families, that's really, when you start doing math, that's saying all of them are supporting thousands and thousands of veterans. And we know that that's not the case. So, we all do need to work together and kind of bring it together. I want to bring up, Valerie just kind of posted up, for those that don't know, we have been lucky to kind of partner with the woodpeckers, so the Fort Bragg woodpeckers here near Fort Bragg, North Carolina. So if you guys are in this area, you guys can go to the VCN. We're going to have some tickets and other stuff that we're going to be able to give away for you guys to go hang out, watch some baseball with the family, the kids, whoever. That way you guys get a little bit of time.
Absolutely.
So Jim, now we get the fun part.
Yeah.
Right. This is the thing. We got a special guest today. So, man, we have talked about doing this for so long. Again, it goes back in the whole mantra of, we want to be supportive. We want to put other VSOs and MPOs on our shoulder and lift them up so that they can do better work. Right. Much of what we do is kind of in the back end, realistically, because that's, we're pulling data, we're leveraging veterans to give us their voice and like all of these things, and then sharing it outwards. So we're not always out doing what some of these organizations are doing. So doing this, like, this is the first one, and really excited about this. At MRC last year, and when you and I came on, we talked a lot about the underserved veterans, right? This idea, Native Americans, like there's a whole rural based, this whole kind of ecosystem, and we're getting more and more of that, of veterans that just don't have the support that they need. And part of it's because they live in an area that just may not have a VA, may not have a medical center or community care. It could be 90 plus minutes away, even further than that. I'm just saying 90 plus minutes is kind of like we'll say the minimum, but it could be way further than that for them to seek the care that they need, especially from a specialty medical care perspective. So as we've been out, we've done the things that we've done. Last year, we got an opportunity to meet a great organization, and in comes, Operation Honor Rural Salute, really an organization that empowers rural veterans, families, and communities by connecting them to vital services. And there's a lot of services that they focus on, Jim: housing, healthcare, business support, career opportunities, and there's so much more. Oh, yeah. We're going to get an opportunity to talk just a little bit about that. And then, of course, be be so good. So I would love to introduce our guest. Bring her on, Michelle Lang. She's the Executive Director of Operation Honor Rural Salute. So Michelle, welcome in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, you know what? We are glad to have you. Now, Michelle, we kind of pulled a hoodwink on you, just to be clear. So Jim, I know that there was another reason that we wanted to bring Michelle here today. So be happy to have you talk to her.
Yeah, and I kind of feel bad. I kind of feel good about doing this. It's bad because we brought her on 5 minutes before this, and we kind of went through the run of show, and this is kind of what we do. And she commented, "Boy, you guys are so wired. It's great. It's wonderful. It feels so good about it." And then here we're going to pull something on you that you weren't expecting. It's a positive. It's a positive one. It's like a surprise gift.
Okay.
We love what you're doing. And one of the things that we want to do is support organizations that we know is making a significant difference for veterans in the rural area. And I loved on your website, early on, it said the Wi-Fi is weak, but the patriotism is strong.
Yeah.
So we all know that there's a number of veterans that just don't have the ability sometimes to connect. And so that thereby definition, they're disconnected. Mm-hmm. And your kind of organizations are making a difference by getting them, helping them, plugging them into other things. So we love what you're doing. We're going to allow you to speak about what you're doing in detail. But we want to give you $5,000 from Mission Roll Call to help with your cause, which is a just cause and a noble effort. And we want to partner with you in the future and make sure that we're telling your story. We're plugging you into other organizations. And so we just wanted to give that small token of our appreciation to what you're doing and invest in you in the future.
Oh my gosh, that is a surprise. Thank you.
Yeah, it was hard. Jim wanted to tell you, and I was like, no, just let her.
Yeah.
Oh my, yeah. Wow. Thank you. Gosh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I love working with Mission Roll Call, and I'm a huge fan of your organization. And your mission and how you think about things, like you were saying. We also believe that we go further together. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go further, go together. And we try and link arms with people that feel the same. So that way we can serve as many people as we can the way they want to be served. And so I just really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, no, it's good. So Michelle, we actually saw as we were planning this out, maybe December, January, don't quote me on this. You'll know what I'm talking about. But on LinkedIn, you had actually made a post about, you wanted to grow, you wanted to get bigger, you wanted support, you needed support. And just at the same time, we saw that, we're like, oh, this is perfect. And obviously we've done work with you last year in 2025. I think this is a great segue to kind of move into you to talk about why Operation Honor Rural Salute. What moved you and your husband to focus on this journey and begin it?
It was our lived experience. So when my husband got out of the military the first time in 2019, we moved back to Pennsylvania, and we found we just didn't have the support that he needed there. And there was a lot of providers that didn't fully understand the veteran experience, what actually caused some more sort of moral injury. And I thought, this is so interesting because we are in a place where, they hang banners on Main Street and people say, thank you for your service, but you don't really know how to help the veterans that are there. You don't know how to help your coworkers. And so he did civilian life for a total of 3 months, got back in the military, and we moved to Fort Bragg. And I thought, I talked to some people that were in still, and I talked to some more veterans, and, is this, what are your thoughts? Kind of polled people, if you will, and just went for it. I wanted to be able to reach into the small towns that are very patriotic and want to help the veterans that live there, but don't know where to start. And so we just started building.
Okay, great. Yeah. And I know we had worked with you guys in North Carolina. I don't want to butcher this and speak on your behalf. So I know there's more than just North Carolina. Like North Carolina is a piece of what you're focused on. So could you kind of do two things for me? One, talk about all the locations that you guys are kind of focused in now and moving forward. And then also the types of events that you guys are running, so folks know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we we have served people all over the United States virtually. People pick up the phone, they call me. So I can help connect them to resources in sort of a more intimate way than just clicking through a database, but we have our own resource database too. The past 3 years, we have been focused a lot in Pennsylvania because that's where I'm from. And that's, where my heart is. I'm from rural America, Pennsylvania. And so I wanted to go back and help the people that were there. And then in last year, we were like, let's test the waters and see really if there is a true need. Maybe this is in my head. I mean, we've done it for the past 3 years, but maybe it's different here. And there is a need. It turns out there is a need. I was right. I wasn't imagining it. So this year we have expanded our events to North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Florida, launching these sort of statewide initiatives where it's a county fair type feel. So meeting these veterans and military where they're at in a situation that is comfortable to them, leaves them open to asking questions, experiencing things, having fun for the family for free, and getting the support and help they need while teaching the community how to support their veterans that are there too.
Yeah. Okay.
That's great.
Yeah. And I'm guessing because there's a lot on your website. We looked at your impact report, kind of what that looked like, and then of course the website. Where's the best place for folks to get connected to you, right? Because I know you guys were like most, you want to impact as many people as possible anywhere that's needed, and you kind of mentioned that. What would be the best way for folks to get in contact with you guys?
We have a contact form on our website, and so that will go straight to us, and we'll see that. That's one of the fastest ways. Also, I mean, if people have reached out on our Facebook, on our Instagram pages, we are very responsive. I find social media to be a great tool because people just feel comfortable to chat there. And so I get a lot of people that message us on social media.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll share it. I know the team's got it here. So team, if you guys do us a favor, just put up those links so that they can make it to Operation Honor Rural Salute. Michelle, we are humbled to have you here. We're humbled to see the work that you guys are doing out in the community. We're glad you're the first, right? To come in and have this. We're here for you. We're looking forward to 2026. I know there's already some stuff that we're inviting you to, and don't be shy to reach out to us, the team, Jim, whoever. We're here. Like we want to do work. We also like volunteering with other organizations.
Absolutely.
If you need help somewhere, please reach out to us.
Well, there's going to be some great opportunities in North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Florida this year.
That's good. Yeah, let us know. I'm positive that Valerie's already tracking the North Carolina one because I know she had already mentioned that one. So anything else you wanted to say, Michelle, before you take off?
I mean, I'm so appreciative of your gift, your support, the work that you guys do. Thank you for having me on, and for you guys reaching into rural America, because there's not many communities, or there's not many organizations that are reaching into rural America and really asking what is going on. And I'm strongly of the belief that America runs on rural veterans. They're the backbone of America. So thank you for what you do and for linking arms with us.
Our pleasure.
Absolutely. All right, we appreciate you, Michelle. All right, everybody. Now we get to the fun part. Jim, so good, Jim, to bring her on.
It's just wonderful. Jimmy, she's just a class act, making a big difference, humble. I mean, she's just making it happen out there.
Yeah, I mean, the more we do this, the more folks that you meet, the more folks you see at the, at that community level. And man, what an amazing thing that they're doing right now. And I can't wait to just see what they're doing expand bigger and bigger. So thanks for the team, Valerie, and all the rest of the team for doing that connection. And of course, them being part of the coalition. So, all right, everybody. So now we're going to move into questions. This is a question time period. You guys get to ask us questions about whatever you guys may have. You guys can post on whatever social media platform that you're currently on. So you can just, hit something up there. Somebody from the team will grab that question and then of course throw it up for Jim and I so that we can kind of have a conversation about it. We do, Jim, I want to go back. John had mentioned a little bit earlier. He said, thank you both for being there. I'm not sure how to reach out because I know I have a TBI problem with me, but I just don't want to give it to the VA to try to raise my disability. I've been calling out to friends to have phone numbers where I go because the VA where I'm at a padded to say, no, why don't the VA hospitals announce such problems more? Thank you. So I think he's looking for why isn't the VA a little bit more involved with some of these issues and then pushing it out through their network to make sure folks like John have that information. And where can he go? I know that Jim Card already mentioned the VFW, American Legion, and some of these others, but I'll kick that over to you, Jim.
Yeah, it's a tough one to answer. I mean, we certainly can put you in touch with Avalon Action Alliance and some of their satellite organizations they work with. I don't know where geographically you live. That will kind of help shape that a little bit as well. So there's a lot of people and organizations that want to help, dog included. And so, yeah, please send us your information and I'll plug you into the contacts I have with them. And I'm sure they're going to reach out and help you out. And if they don't, then give us a call because we want to make sure you get assistance.
Yeah. And I think the call, if I remember right, John, I think it's in Florida. I think I'm just trying to remember the other messages that because he is a routine visitor for us, Jim. So I think that's what he said before. But if somebody on the team, here, I've actually got it. Here's the information for Avalon Action Alliance, John. So that way you've got it and you can actually see it. I don't know if it's going to post to all, but that may be very helpful for you and kind of what you're doing. And again, also what Jim Carr kind of noted with the other locations that you would go there. And don't be shy to reach out to us also in a contact form if you need to. But we have a lot of relationship here with Avalon. They're such a great organization. There's a lot of other organizations that they are related to. Warriors Heart. I mean, there's just a lot of really good organizations that are inside of that. Yeah. So going to them is probably a good step especially if it's TBI related. So, okay. All right. So the next question that we had here, or just kind of, I think it's maybe a statement, but I think it'll be good for you to answer, Jim, is would love to know about those who may have not diagnosed with TBI during service because it's not a thing, right? So we just didn't talk about it while they were in. So many vets are out there with TBI who don't have that official diagnosis. So Jim, I know that there's a lot of what you just went through, right? We talked a little bit about it. But what's kind of our plan from your perspective? I mean, obviously plans change, but from your perspective, leading the organization, how are we going to help make sure that the veterans that may not have gotten diagnosis, that we continue to bring this up and make this an important piece of what we do?
Well, a couple things. One, we're going to continue to testify and bring these stories and statistics to those that are making decision on the House Veterans Affairs Committee and the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee on health so that they know about it. We're going to work with individual congressmen and senators that we know can help address this. And then on an individual basis, on particular ones, right, we maybe can plug in somebody in Florida. There's somebody who's written the legislation from Florida that we can plug them directly into that constituents so they know, hey, one of your constituents has an issue, please know this. And I think the other thing is we're going to continue to push this through the media with the results of our surveys and some of the things that we've heard. And that's why I said earlier, it's holding people, it's listening, and then the accountability piece to make sure that they're just not saying to us, yeah, okay, yeah, we hear you, we're going to do something about it. It's making sure that, okay, well, where are you with that? You know, what is your, I mean, all of us have bosses, right, that say to us, hey, listen, I gave you a task. Where are you 30 days from now? And why am I still talking to you about this?
That's right.
That's the case with us, with key decision makers and legislators that are involved with this. I think they understand that we're not going away and that our visibility with the veteran community is growing. I mean, we're reaching literally millions of veterans, millions, through our social media platforms, either Facebook or LinkedIn or through this modem, through our podcasts, through YouTube videos, and it's disrupting the equilibrium because now we're getting these opinions, not through a filtered process, through a region, through the state, through this, all of that. And then it gets to the top one and it gets filtered again. We're not doing it that way. We're using statistics and sharing that. So does that answer that?
No, yeah, I think that's great. I mean, it's a good lead point. I mean, the bottom line is we're going to continue to work on it as long as we possibly can. Okay, well, Jim, we've done good work for everybody that's here. And more importantly, Michelle, thank you so much for the work that you do. One thing that I'd like to bring up to the group, if you guys go to the website for where this is located, right? So you go into the Veteran Town Hall. If the staff can link that in here, when you go inside of there, there's a poll underneath this player that we need you guys to take. And it's basically asking you, what's the next VSO that the area that you guys would like us to invite on, right? We've got the 4 priorities that you guys selected for us in 2026. So would you like somebody that's focused on accessing timely quality healthcare? Would you like somebody that's focused on service-connected injuries and conditions, preventing veteran suicide, or accessing housing solutions to homeless veterans? So if you guys could go take that poll real quick, all you got to do is select it, hit the vote button. That way we get you guys each week. We will do this. We'll have a VSO on. We'll talk to them, learn a little bit about them, share their story. That way you guys can get connected with them and share out with your communities. And then we will do this. I thought we just had a question come in. So Roy asked, how can younger people volunteer their time to help veterans? Roy, I'll take that one real quick. There's a lot of organizations, right? So the very first thing is where you're located, but there is a lot of organizations that you can join to do just that. We have our own, the Veteran Connection Network that we have internal to Mission Roll Call. We have a lot of, you're going to see a lot of nonprofits and VSOs that are going to start to populate on that. So we'd love to have you there, and we'll have somebody link that up for you so that you can do that. Jim, we got a message here from Kevin. He put media push is a great idea. Just like PTSD and mental health become a thing we were able to talk about. TBI is one of them that just does not have that level of familiarity in terms of something vets are told to bring up and address. It's got to be more household-like discussion.
He's exactly right. And the fact is that many of us, I was Army Aviation. So the only time I went to a doctor was once a year to get my flight schedule and upslip stamped, right?
Yeah.
You never went to the doctor because you could lose your flight status. And a lot of branches of service are like that. So you never went to the doctor. And of course, these issues compound over the years, and then you get out and now you don't have any kind of record that shows the injuries that you've had because you've been, I would say, less than honest with a flight surgeon or a doctor. So it's important that we have this conversation about how we don't know how broad this is, right? It's like homelessness. We don't know how many veterans are truly homeless.
That's
and
right.
By bringing this to the attention of society in general through the media, through society in general through our website and working with other VSOs, but then adjacent to that is providing that information to those that are in the halls of Congress and Senate that are making decisions and making appropriations. And not only them, sharing this information with the VA so they can do something like the Beacon Act, working with other organizations to make sure they're investing in organizations outside the VA that can provide good health care and address these issues. So all of this is important. The only way we do that is through all of you that are listening, getting involved, taking polls, volunteering, sharing your voice in the local community and working with other VSOs.
Yeah, thanks for that, Jim. And Kevin, Roy, thank you both for your question. And staff, you guys can also take that poll, so don't be shy to put your thing in there. Jim, as we kind of depart for today, any kind of closing comments for you, for everybody?
Yeah, one thing I would say is all of us have a role to play. Some of us feel more comfortable maybe getting involved by being involved with a local VSO at any level. Some of us just want to donate money. And I would say to those that want to get involved, please go to our website. You can donate to us. You can donate to any of the organizations that were in our veteran support organizations that we have on our website. Or you can just touch base with us and say, hey, well, listen, here's an organization that you may not know about. We're a community working this together. We don't have all the answers. And if we did, there'd be a problem. The answers are out there. The answers and solving these problems are done at the local level by rolling up our sleeves and getting involved, either with a donation of our time or treasure to be involved in any amount helps. $5,000 is not a whole lot of money in the order of things, right? When you hear in the news billions and trillions of dollars here and there, I mean, it's mind-boggling. But it makes a difference to that organization.
That's right.
And if you think about 18 million veterans, if each one just gave $1, what impact we could have. So get involved with any way you can.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Jim, as always. For everybody that's here today, thank you from the entire Mission Roll Call team. We are, again, humbled and thankful to spend our days every day doing all we can do to make sure that your voice is heard by those that make decision. One of the things we want to bring up is, we have 4 pillars inside of the organization of connecting, informing, educating, and empowering. And it's important that each of you understand that, we're going to do our best to connect you. We're going to do our best to inform and educate you so that you understand, and not just you, also your families, VSOs, MPOs, and of course, those that make a decision. But we need you to empower yourself to give us your voice. Okay. Because if you don't do that, at the end of the day, when decisions are made, again, we're going to look straight back at you guys and like, hey, we have the opportunity. And one thing that we will continue to do is to make sure your voice is elevated. So thank you for your service. Families, thank you for borrowing your loved one to serve our great nation. We appreciate you guys. And we'll see you back here on February 11th. We'll see you guys. Take care.
Thank you.
All right, Jim.